Welcome back. Let's put this in the ether. You know what? New things are more interesting than old things. What I mean by that, all right? What I mean by that is that this is why, right? This is why guys, when they're in, like, when they're married, right? They tend to have sexless marriage, right? Their sex are diminished. Their activity, sexual activity, because when you have the same thing over and over, you get used to it. You get tired of it. You don't want to fornicate anymore. Same goes for guys who are in marriages. Most marriage out there right now are sexless marriages, right? But as soon as you bring in a new element, guys are more willing to fornicate, right? This is why, right? This is why some guys out there, they can't watch the same pornography all the time. They have to switch it up. They watch the same pornography, they get used to it, and then when they get used to it, it leads them to get to to um to venture off to unfamiliar territory because new things excite men. This is why it's not a good idea to watch porn all the time, right? When you watch porn all the time, you get used to the same thing over and over, right? And then it makes you explore new things because new things get you excited. This is why guys are in sexless marriage, right? They're having sex with the same woman over and over, and they get tired. And get tired at the time, right? Now, in order to spark or to get guys aroused again, he usually get you have to introduce new things, right? Either by a new partner or something. That's why a lot of marriages, right, are polyamorous, right? They have sexual partners, multiple sexual partners. This is why swingers happen, right? This is why swingers, because when you have the same sex with the same person, you get tired of it, especially men, right? And and because of this, this is why when you this is why guys are more inclined to watch younger women, which is new things, right? This is why King David or King Solomon have multiple wives. Once they get done fornicating with the first wives, right? Usually they don't have sex with their first wife at all. They just stop having it. They don't have no interest, lack of interest. This is why they introduce another wives into his relationship. This is why kings are allowed to have multiple wives or have multiple wives, right? Because at some point in a guy's life, he'll get tired of the same thing over and over, right? Remember, human beings are creatures. You have to think of us as animals, right? What do animals, right? Animals like men are bred or made to reproduce, right? And certain things that attract men, right? That's why we can't reproduce with the same thing over and over. That's why we have new things in our life to make us more aroused, so we could continue to mate. New things continue to mate. I mean, make us want to fornicate even more. All right. This is what leads to a lot of sexless marriage because they're trapped in this marriage, and sooner or later they're gonna feel tired. This is why a lot of relationship out there, right? Married couples they're not as um they're more reluctant to kiss each other, right? At some point in your relationship, in your marriages, right? You don't kiss each other anymore, right? You don't see any purpose. You just when you do it, it seems like it's more of a chore, right? That's what I'm seeing. This is my observation, right? They cut to why new things excite men, right? Because it's putting that new element to it, right? It's new things are exciting. Let's say that. Let's just say that new things are exciting. Now putting in a new partner in your relationship. Of course, it's easier for you to get excited because you want to get. There's a new thing you haven't experienced yet, right? And this is why this is why I refrain from watching pornography because once you watch it too much, right, you get your ability to arouse and rise at the occasion diminish because you're just doing it too much. This is why it's not a good idea just to watch all these stuff. This is why it's a good idea from refraining yourself from having sexual intercourse with a lot of partners, right? Because once save that endurance, at some point you're gonna lose that drive, and that drive will diminish, and it leads to erectile dysfunctions. Now, what if you need to be aroused at that proper moment, at that time with a significant other when you decide to have kids? Now you're incapable of breathing now, right? This is what happens when you have too much sex. Your ability to fornicate diminish, right? You begin to have erectile dysfunctions, right? This is why marriage couples, guys find that tougher time to get up. This is why guys find it a chore, right, to have sex with a woman and with their wives, because it becomes a hard time to find any excitement in the wives, and that leads to a lot of what? This what leads to a lot of divorces, sexual infidelity, not enough sex, right? Women get tired. She wants some sex from the husband. The husband get tired. He's not getting aroused by the same woman anymore, so they lose attraction. They lose interest in each other, and that's what leads to all these divorces, right? It's all sex, right? And in the Bible, it said that men could have a concubine. This is the reason why. This is the reason why concubine happened, right? To make the men more interested in sex, right? And not only that, the new men have to procreate, right? That's why men have the ability to breed in his older age, right? They have to spread their seeds, so every time they see a new thing, it arouses them to make them spread their seeds, right? This is why they can't stick to one woman. Men are not men. I mean, I hate to say it, we're not ingrained to just commit to just one woman, right? This is why I'm just saying, like, this is why marriage cannot function as about when it's about love, because love fades, right? Love fades, right? Marriage is a business, right? So when your love fades and you get married, that means now you're entering a different element, a different route. Now you have to break up your marriage. Now you're in a financial disaster. That's what I'm saying. If you just in it for sex, you're not married, man. Because some marriage out there that just is based on lust. It's not based on contractual agreement. When you look at marriages, it's only a contract, right? It's a contract, and it's business. It's a business contract. It's nothing love has to do with it. No, love does not have to do with marriage, right? People think love has to do with marriage, but it's not true, right? Love does not have to do with marriage. God does not have to do with marriage, especially this time and age, in modern time. Love and God has nothing to do with marriage. It's just business, pure business. That's why you gotta be careful when you marry each other, right? You gotta make sure the spark is there. Make sure you attract to that person, right? Make sure that you understand the consequences of marriage before you commit to it, right? You gotta understand that when you're married to a person, you're gonna lose interest in having sex with them. You're gonna lose interest of wanting to fornicate with them, right? So this is why, if you're still in your prime, that's why young guys out there, young guys, it's not, it's better off if you just be in a relationship with a woman and not get married. And if you want to get married, make sure you're older to get married. That's why it's optimal for guys to get married at his older years than it is for them in his younger years. Because when he gets older years, it's hard for him to keep up. It's hard for him to um it's easy for him to commit to a woman because marriage is just a contract. But as a young man, it's hard for you to commit to one woman because you just want to you just want to smash all the time, right? And when you're in a marriage, you can't do that. When you're in a marriage, you can't do that. You're just bound by one woman, and now you're gonna get tired of being with that woman. And then what's that gonna lead you? It's gonna lead you to cheating on her, and then that's gonna lead to all these infidelity, and then it's gonna lead to all these headaches, right? All these contracts when you're married. This is why it's optimal for guys to be single, at his younger age, and when he gets to his older age, then when he's thinking about being committed to a woman, right? Because he's not gonna be confounded to just he's not gonna be confounded just to sex. He's gonna understand how marriage really works, right? And his urges to fornicate will diminish, so it'll be easier for him to have a relationship with his partner. Now, when you're young and you're married, right? You can have all the emotion and all these hormones going through, and it's hard for you to keep a commitment with your partner. Now you're gonna lead you to infidelity and cheat on your wife, right? Because of how human nature works, because of how we are designed. Guys are designed to mate as much as possible, to spread out his seed, to be fruitful and multiply, right? Now, if you're bound by a contract and bound to one woman, it's hard for you to be fruitful and multiply, right? Because at some point, when you stick with the same woman, right? When you stick with the same woman, it's hard for you to be aroused. And that leads to sexless marriage, and that leads to a lot of problems, into infidelity and cheating, right? It depends what age you are, right? It's primal, It's primal to get married at your older age than it is to be at your younger age. Because younger age, you're still exploring, you're still testing ground out. So it's best for you not to get married at your age, right? But that's what it is. And to be honest, marriage is not it's not. God didn't say God didn't get married, right? I didn't see that in the Bible. It doesn't say go out and get married. It says go out there and be fruitful and multiply. You know, if marriage had to do with it, why did God allow is it Abraham to have a concubine? Right? God allowed you to have a concubine, and they just totally disregard that. God did not say you are limited to just one partner. God did not say that. God does not say that too. Right? You are allowed to have a concubine if you feel the need that you are lackluster in your relationships. But but people just misconstrued everything, right? People when they need to look deep down in the whole situation that guys are meant to fornicate with multiple partners. If they don't, they're gonna lose interest. Right? It's only natural. When you have so much thing of the same thing, you get tired of it. When you eat the same food over and over, you get tired of it. If you eat eggs every day, you get tired of it. If you eat the same stuff over and over, you get tired of it. Same goes for sex. If you have sex, the same thing over and over, you get tired of it. If you watch the same pornography over and over, you get tired of it. Right? That's why it makes you want to explore more in order to get that arousal, in order to get that dopamine fix. That's what it is. Right? New things excite us. Old things don't excite us. Old women don't excite us. Younger women excite us. Right? That's why when you get older in your relationship, your wife is older with you, she don't excite you anymore. Right? And then you have sex as marriage. That's why it's optimal for a guy, right, to marry his old age and to marry a woman. Right? Because the younger woman will excite the old man to fornicate even more than it is for an older man to fornicate with an older wife. You get what I'm trying to say? But the point is that new things excite men, old things don't excite men. There's a reason why men cheat. There's a reason why men cheat or men attention divert from their wives. All right, and I just want to get that out there and let men understand that this stuff is natural and it's gonna happen when you get married. When you get married, you're about to have sexless marriage. You're gonna lose interest in your wife, and and you have to be prepared because your mind might wander off to newer things. Right, and you have to be on guard and understand the dynamic of being in a marriage, right? Because marriage is not about love. Marriage is a business, right? If you messed up, you f yourself up big time, right? Especially. But on that note, guys, let me know if you agree, right? Do new things arouse people? Am I correct? Let me know if I'm making sense, if I'm conveying my message correctly. On that note, guys, thank you for watching and peace and blessings.